Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the week of September 15th. You have this debt card. It says, are you in the driver's seat with your debts, or has your debt taken over and placed you in shackles? You have this closed-minded card. It says, sometimes you fail to see the infinite possibilities and opportunities that are available to you. Yeah, so I would open up here, Cancer, and make sure that you are seeing the opportunity. I think there are a lot of opportunities that are like in front of you that you need to pay attention to here. These are going to be opportunities to like grow, expand. It's always funny to me when you get your opposite sign, Cancer, as well. You have the Queen of Pentacles, which is Capricorn. And I don't know why I pulled these two cards, but we'll take it. I feel like I just did this to you, but we'll take the extra cards. Why not? But anyway, you always get your opposite sign. And whenever you have sometimes, not always, but sometimes I feel when people get their opposite sign in readings that the reading is asking you to basically work with that energy, right? And so one thing I say to Capricorn all the time, your opposite sign, is that Capricorn in Vedic astrology is the crocodile, or traditionally was a crocodile. It wasn't a sea goat. And crocodiles are like sit and wait predators. So like when an opportunity presents itself, they really, they kind of like snap shut on that opportunity and they really grab onto it, right? And, again, I feel there is like a big opportunity in front of you that you definitely should be kind of like taking advantage of. And so, working with that Capricorn energy, being more disciplined, driven, not being afraid to climb the mountain, so to speak. I think that it would be worth it to climb some sort of mountain. And I don't even think this is like a mountain doesn't have to be difficult, right? There are people who climb mountains on purpose, believe it or not, because they love it, right? So this can be a good thing, but it's also, I always say, like, where do you get the best views? And the answer is at the top of a mountain, right? And so I kind of feel that with the Queen of Pentacles, where it's like saying, don't be afraid to go on some sort of journey that is going to require effort, right? And yeah, that's pretty much what I would do with the Queen of Pentacles here. You have the Empress. The Empress is great. Says you're very attractive at this time. It says you could be getting a lot of attention as well. Doesn't matter what gender you are. You have a lot of attention here. You have the Star as well. So, Empress and the Star is almost a glow up. If we got the Sun card, then I would definitely say this is a glow up reading. But, again, without the Sun, I can't say that just yet. But you could be working on things like your health. I think all water signs are because of the South Node in Virgo, but also the eclipse that we're going to have at the end of the month in Virgo. So it's an excellent time to like get healthy, to take care of any health that like not just physical, mental, and other forms of health as well. It's like we can work on our work health as well and being healthy at work and not burning ourselves out, right? So, in every sense of the word, I would be nurturing yourself more. It just seems to me as well that like the better you take care of yourself right now, the better things are going to go in your life. So, I think, again, this is definitely true for you because I'm pretty sure I've said this to you recently here, Cancer, that it would be an amazing time for you to, like, it just, like, putting yourself first is going to be the right answer, right? And so there you go. You have the Two of Wands. I feel like you are going to have to take the lead on something here, which could make you a little bit nervous. I don't know, like, it kind of shows up as love here because the Knight of Cups and the Ten of Cups. I'm not saying you have to, like, ask someone out or something like that, Cancer, right? But, you're probably going to have to leave a comfort zone here with the Two of Wands. He's standing where he's always been, but because of that, he gets what he's always got. And, I think for you to get something, for you to get exceptional results in your life, then you have to do something exceptional, right? And I'm pretty sure I said that to you recently as well, Cancer. And so, like, don't be afraid of, like, pushing yourself outside comfort zones, trying new things, some of you are, I feel, based off this reading, because again, you have the Empress and the Star, which kind of suggests to me that you already are working on something. I don't really feel this is just work. Or just love. What I was going to say is I feel it could also be work that you're pushing yourself in. And again, remember, you don't have to push yourself that hard because you have the Empress right here. The Empress, she just waves that scepter in front of her and the wheat in front of her grows. She's not like struggling. She's not stressing herself out. She's doing things, easily. Not that life or work is meant to be easy. I feel like I have to say that. But, again, there could be easier ways that you can create success than, thinking you have to bang your head against the wall or do whatever, right? So definitely something to think about. Here you go, with the Queen of Pentacles, you have a star again. So there's probably an ultimate vision that you have, which Neptune's going to be retrograding into Pisces in October. You have the 10 of Cups and the 7 of Cups at the end here as well. 10 of Cups is your kind of ultimate vision for your life. It's like, if everything were perfect, what would that life look like? Or what does your dream life look like? And that's what I would be focusing on with the star. The star says you have to focus on this one star, your guiding light, your North Star. And if you don't have a North Star, I think it would be a great time for you to figure out what your North Star could be. That one thing that you follow, that you work towards. And that's what I would be working on with that star card, is like your wishes, right? Can't make this up. This is a very Cancer reading. With the Empress, you have the Knight of Cups twice. You are the only sign that constantly gets these repeating cards. It's crazy to me. I don't even know why. It's funny to me as well. It's a good thing usually, because these repeating cards kind of are just confirmation for the message. They basically say, I meant what I said, right? It's the universe is saying, I meant what I said to you. And so Knight of Cups, could be a knight in shining armor. Someone clearly finds you attractive here, Cancer. I feel like I've been saying this to you for a while. So there you go. I'm wondering if you work with a person you like or something like that. It gives me those feelings. Like either, this is a person that you work with, or, there's something making you nervous about it for sure right here. And, you could look up to this person. You could see this person as a star. I'm not saying they're famous or anything, but, the star can just say, sometimes I think with the star, it's like we can look up to, almost put a person too much on a pedestal. So don't do that, number one, right? But, what I would say here is I definitely get that feeling. With the 2 of Wands, you have the 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like 2 sevens is internal fears that don't exist. And, we have 2 sevens that basically start and end the reading. 7 of Pentacles is a change in direction. It's like to have, the question, or I don't know if this is a question, it's more of a statement that's popping into my head here, is like, I'm going to have to change to have what I really want. And so, yes, that is the whole point. And so, yes, you are going to have to do something kind of like exceptional to get exceptional results, like I said. 7 of Pentacles is a change in direction. It's my card that says, is the juice worth the squeeze? Like, is what you've been doing in life up until this point, is it worth it or not? And I don't know. Sometimes some things are worth it and some things probably aren't worth it. That's how life works. And, the 7 of Pentacles is about, figuring out what's working, what's not working, and doing more of what works. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you at this time, you have this Healing the Heart card and this Merry Motive. And I'll show you these next 2 cards as well in a second. We are, again, in an excellent time of healing, so I would be healing and taking care of yourself. The Merry Motive card is about, following your desire, doing things that bring you joy. And, it kind of says that the reason behind the things you do needs to bring you, needs to be happy. It needs to bring you happiness as well. These 2 cards kind of say the same thing. You have this Close Encounter card and this Great and Full card. Yeah, we are in a great time of manifestation, so practicing gratitude would be a good idea. But I do think that you're very close to something. I feel I feel you need to trust your dreams. That Close Encounters card, I don't know, it's popping into my head as like dreams, or, it's like I feel like you're getting messages in some way from the universe, and I would trust that. Again, you have the Star, the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. The Star is like something you want, wish. That Merry Motive card can also represent a wish. And so, personally, I don't consider the Star to necessarily be a wish. It can be a wish. The Star is really a card of hope, faith, and renewal. It brings those feelings to us. But with that Merry Motive card, I would say that, this is something you're wishing for or hoping for in your life. Normally, I only say that the Star is a wish if we also get the 9 of Cups in the reading. So, I'll say that, but, definitely good. I feel it's a good time for you to look at the big picture, which I'm pretty sure I've said to you before. We have this bird here, and the bird is the ibis. It's a bird of knowledge and wisdom on the Star card, and it kind of just represents, getting a bird's eye view, like looking at your life and saying, do I have the things I want or not? And, I'm sure you have some things that you want, but there might be some other things that you have to, go and get. And, I feel that's what the Star is encouraging. You have the Knight of Cups, so again, could be a knight in shining armor coming in for you if you want love, and the Knight of Cups is usually about kind of being swept off your feet, so there you go. The Knight of Cups can also be your dream. He is very dreamy. He has this water flowing in front of him, and I always say he is standing in the desert, but if he planted seeds in front of that water, they would grow. And so there is big part of this reading is definitely talking about you planting seeds towards something you want, like a dream, manifesting something you want in your life. I feel all that would be very good for you here, Cancer. So I would definitely work on manifesting. You have the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles, I do feel pretty good about this. The Two of Wands can represent progress. The Knight of Pentacles can also be making progress towards a goal or something that you want. So normally I don't really like the Knight of Pentacles because he's the only knight in the tarot that isn't moving, and all the other knights are. And so he can represent like slow progress or not really doing anything. But I don't know. I feel pretty good about it. I feel like you are. I feel like you are. That's it. With the Star, you have the Queen of Wands. Yes, again, Two of Wands. We talked about needing to be bold and assertive. That's what she has to do. The thing about the Queen of Wands is she's my card of learning as you go. And so sometimes I feel the Queen of Wands can say that you are in a period of your life where it's like no one is going to tell you that an idea is a good idea. It's kind of like you're in a time where you have to figure things out for yourself, and which is fine. It can be a little bit scary, but I really feel she's encouraging you to follow your happiness. She has this sunflower right here, and the sunflower points towards the sun, which is what anything that makes her happy or things that she desires. And so she moves again towards love, joy, peace, happiness, all those good things. And I feel like I say this to you basically in every single reading. So really, your readings are very simple, Cancer. I think they are just saying, make yourself more happy. And, that's it, right? With the Knight of Cups, you can't make this up. Lovers, definitely love, of course. And we have the Ten of Cups here, which is like happy home, happy family. So definitely, if you're finding love at this time, could be something that leads to a family in the future. It doesn't have to. Not everybody wants to have a family necessarily, but, could just lead to a lot of joy and peace in your life or a lot of good feelings. So I do like to see this. Lovers is kind of like a divinely guided connection as well. I also feel for those of you that are working on a dream, which is probably all of you, or something that you've been dreaming of having for a long time, the Lovers can kind of represent a new path. I don't necessarily think you are complete. It's not like you're changing completely, but sometimes I feel Lovers can be a little bit of an upgrade. So if you're like working on a project or a dream, don't be afraid to make changes is what it's saying. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords says follow your curiosity. If something is making you curious or thoughtful, or if you're thinking about a new direction in life or whatever, it just says follow your curiosity. We're in a good time of curiosity. The other thing I'll say is Pluto retrograde, right? Pluto is going to be retrograde until like October 14th. And Pluto retrograde is really good for getting to the bottom of things. We've had Pluto retrograde since May. And, Pluto retrograde is a little weird, a little tricky, but at the same time, I think it's good for like kind of getting to the bottom of something. And we're getting to the end of the Pluto retrograde. Like I said, it went retrograde in May. And so we're kind of getting closer to the end, obviously. And, retrogrades kind of simmer down in the middle, and then they are, most intense at the beginning and the end of the retrogrades. So a lot of you could be, you're going to have to think back to May. Like, what were you thinking about? Were there any major themes that you were dealing with at that time? And what was it? What came up during that period of time? And, what can you get to the bottom of now? And I don't know. You're gonna have to think about it. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, here you go. You have this card. It says tenacious individuality. Yes, Queen of Wands. You have this nurturing card. Can't make that one up either. We've been talking about you nurturing yourself this whole entire time. So I think that, the best thing you can do is make yourself happy, right? Like, what can you do to make yourself happy? And if you don't know, then I would go and find things that you think might make you happy and try them, right? Like hobbies, interests, ways to nurture yourself, ways to take care of yourself. I always say, I don't think we just get to be happy. We have to make ourselves happy. And so that's, basically what I would be focusing on here. And don't be afraid of doing things. Like, again, I think maybe part of the challenge for water signs right now is that there really isn't, you are having to be, what I'm trying to spit out is that I think water signs have to be their own inspiration right now at this time. It's there might not be any examples, like anything to look up to, or you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Normally maybe we have little guiding lights in life that kind of say like go in this direction. But it's like I think the universe is trying to get water signs to inspire themselves, to be like, do you trust yourself enough to do something that you think you might enjoy? Stuff like that, right? And I don't know. Only you can answer that question, Cancer. You have the Ten of Cups, the Nine of Swords, and the Hierophant. Ten of Cups is like fortune after difficulty, so definitely could be some improvements coming in for you. Could also be happy home, happy family, like I said. So, if you're looking for love, it is a great time for love for water signs. Pretty much for everyone, really. But, definitely water signs. So if you want love, I would go and get it. Put yourself out there, meet new people. Some of you might be interested, like I said, in a person at work or something, which I feel like I've said to you before. So I don't know. Flirt. Learn how to flirt. Something like that would be a good idea with the Ten of Cups, but pretty good. You have the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is like a round, never-ending nightmare. Nine of Swords says you have to get out of your head. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the Nine of Swords because it's like Groundhog's Day. It's just, doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. So like I said, I feel this reading is encouraging exceptional results for your life here, Cancer. But you have to, do things and put yourself in positions to get those exceptional results. You can't do things the same way. And so this is encouraging you to step outside of comfort zone. And yeah, we have to practice this, I think, for sure. And yeah, it's like giving me the vibes of embrace the cringe, It's kind of like, I don't really have any good examples other than social media. That's all I do all day is work on social media, right? But it's like I've noticed people who do really well on social media, they don't really care, about being cringy and things like that, right? And so that's popping into my head with this card. I also feel you could be overthinking something, Nine of Swords to the Seven of Cups. So whatever you're overthinking, I think you could probably easily get out of this energy if you just went and got the answer. You have the Hierophant. The Hierophant can be marriage. So again, love looks really good in this reading. The Hierophant is also education. He is educating these two people on something, his belief system. And these two people are initiates, so he is initiating them into his belief system. And a lot of you, whatever you're learning, I feel you are in a time of learning, so anything you could learn would be a good idea. The other thing about the Hierophant, though, this is a very dreamy reading, which makes sense, you're a Cancer, but, he is the bridge between heaven and earth, the Hierophant, so he's able to take his dream or something and bring it down to earth, right? And so I feel the Hierophant is encouraging you to, bring something you're dreaming about down to earth. Literally, the Ten of Cups, these 10 cups exist above their heads. They have to do something to make those 10 cups a reality, whatever it is that they're hoping, wishing, dreaming for. The Ten of Cups isn't a bad card, but, sometimes it can represent being stuck in the fantasy and not really making it a reality. I'm not too worried because you have the Seven of Cups and the good stuff. And the Seven of Cups and the good stuff would say you probably are making a fantasy a reality. Can't make this up. Damn. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Four of Wands. So definitely could be a person that leads to marriage in the future or just leads to a deeper commitment. I don't think you have to marry a person, but if you want a commitment or something like that, definitely could be coming in for you. The Four of Wands is also a card of freedom. We have a lot going on right now, especially in November. Uranus will be retrograding back into Taurus. I've been encouraging people to set themselves free from at least one thing, right? With Uranus and Taurus, or to do something that creates more freedom in your life. That could be, starting a side hustle so you have more financial freedom. It could be, just doing a hobby so that you have more enjoyment freedom, right? I don't think it has to be anything important, but I would definitely encourage you to pick one thing right now, even before we get to November, that will kind of make you feel more free in life. And it could be creative freedom, love freedom, business freedom, work freedom, doesn't matter. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Hermit. Yeah, very much the astrology right now. South Node Virgo, North Node Pisces is kind of Hermit energy. People, I always say this, people who are born with this North Node and Pisces, South Node and Virgo, their karma is kind of in a past life, they escaped to the mountain, the top of the mountain, and they kind of punished the world. It's funny, you have the world right next to this. And they kind of punished the world because they were hurt by either a person or something in the world. And so they felt like they needed to keep their light hidden. And, people who have North Node Pisces, South Node Virgo in their birth chart usually need to learn to, share their light, basically. He has the star in his lantern. You have the star twice. So it's definitely time for you to, open up or, not be afraid to share. With the Hierophant, you have the Eight of Wands. You definitely are getting, I think I said this earlier, you are, I feel, on the Close Encounters card, right? I was talking about your dreams. This right here could be communication from the universe, communication in your dreams, in your daydreams, just random messages you receive during the day. So any messages you are receiving, I would definitely be paying attention to those messages. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this eating and dining card. It says nourishment, again, abundance and community. You have this master card. It says wisdom, integrity, compassion, and truth. All those things are things that we need to work on right now. Definitely for you, nourishing energy or nurturing energy is, you have 20 cards that basically all say that. So the better you take care of yourself, like I said, I literally said it. I think it's a very simple message, this reading, Cancer, just saying, what I said at the beginning. The better you take care of yourself, the more you put yourself first, the better things will go. And that's what I would be doing. You have the Seven of Cups, the World, and the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, I do feel like you could be manifesting some sort of dream on Earth, something that you've been dreaming of for a long time. Could be anything. Again, Seven of Cups is normally kind of he's thinking too much about all the possibilities, right? There are good things and bad things in these cups, but he doesn't really know how something is going to go until he brings it down to earth. But I kind of feel you are. You know what I mean? It's you are going... I feel this is confirmation that you are going to manifest something on earth right here with the World showing up. So I'm not too worried about that. And it's coming up in the good stuff anyway. You do have the World. The World can represent an accomplishment or an achievement. You have the Eight of Wands as well. So, this would be a lot of movement. The Two of Wands is also encouraging you to get out into the world. So I think it would be a great time to explore, learn new things, do new things in your life, try new things. All that would be very good for you with this energy. But, I also feel like doing things in the world would be a good idea with the World card. Just going, having fun. Enjoying your close relationships with people that matter to you. All that stuff is kind of popping into my head. But I do feel you are manifesting something in the world. You have the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles in the good stuff can represent financial stability. So, again, I think a lot of you, I feel a lot of people are focusing on financial stability in life in general at this time. So that also makes sense. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Straightforward, diligent work on your dream, right? Eight of Pentacles is pretty simple. It's what I said with the star. Star is about having a North Star, having that one thing that you work on. So again, if there is something that you want, it's pretty simple. Just as if you put in the work into that one thing and make it your focus, you will eventually get the result, right? He's almost done. He's very close to achieving his goal. And so a lot of you probably are very close to achieving your goal here. With the World, you have the Knight of Wands. We literally just said this. The Knight of Wands is the card of exploration and learning and experiencing and going and doing spontaneous things. He is spontaneous, but when we get the Knight of Wands in a reading, we have to be spontaneous. We have to be open to random opportunities and things like that, and we should go and explore those things, and yes. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Three of Swords. I think this has come up for you before. It's coming up in the good stuff, so wouldn't worry too much about it. But Three of Swords is about forgiveness. We have to forgive the past to get something that we want or desire in life. And, that's basically what I would do here is, this could be you healing, nurturing yourself, like we already said, or kind of healing from the past. You have this finger card that says, warning you of a problem either now or in the future. Yeah, don't ignore things. We are definitely, this is a very good reading, Cancer. You don't really have any bad cards, but, if you get a warning, pay attention, right? We are definitely with eclipses and things like that. You should pay attention to your feelings, any warning signs and things like that. It's like random things can happen. The other day I was driving down the road and I take a class every single Monday. So today, and, I have to drive 40 minutes to get to the class. And, I saw one cop, right, on the road. I was like, I don't know. I'm going to pay attention to that. And I saw 40 freaking cops on the side of the road on my drive, right? So, random things like that can happen where it's if you see a cop on the road, maybe it's a sign to slow down, so that you don't get a ticket and things like that. I would pay attention. You have this flag card. It says, do not be tempted to lower your standards. Yeah, it's definitely, this reading wants you to get those exceptional results, like I said. So to get exceptional results, you're going to have to do exceptional things. But, if you do that, then you'll have an exceptional life. And I want everyone to do that. So there you go. You have this wild card. It says misunderstandings. I'm wondering if something isn't clear. Also, if you want love, and let's say you've been talking to a person already, or maybe you've recently met a person. It's like, I do feel that is a possibility. You should make sure you're being clear, and I feel that because there might be a lack of clarity here. But also, if there are misunderstandings, I wouldn't worry about it too much. You have this table that says hard work ahead. Yes, 8 of Pentacles is hard work. But the thing is, I wouldn't just work hard, right? I said this in the beginning of the year in the 2025 readings. There's a big difference between efficient work and hard work. You can work hard and be efficient, but you can also work hard and not. So if you're going to work hard, make sure that you're doing efficient work, not just hard work, right? You have this broken ring. It says parting of the ways, either in romance or business. I feel a lot of you are just making changes at this time. So, it is what it is. But this looks very good here, Cancer. I like it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.